Today, I'm going to be making Bland's Fake Pineapple Upside Down Cake. This is from the book, Being Dead is No Excuse, the official Southern Ladies Guide to Hosting the Perfect Funeral. So what you need for this recipe, you need a cast iron skillet. You don't have to have one. If you do have one, that's what they're recommending. So I have that. But you need 1 box of Duncan Hines. This is a butter golden cake mix. It's saying a yellow cake mix, but butter flavored. So this was the only one that I saw like that. Then you need 12 ounces of light brown sugar, 1 stick of butter, it says a small can of sliced pineapple. However, this was the size that Walmart had. It's a 20-ounce can, but actually you want to go ahead and get the 20-ounce can, and I'll tell you why in just a second. You need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I have that here, and the reason why it's good that you have the 20-ounce can is because it wants you to replace. You're going to make the cake mix according to the directions. The directions call for 3/4 cup water. Instead of using your water, you're going to replace the water with your pineapple juice. So that can had about 3/4 cup of pineapple juice, and that's it. So you really do want to go ahead and get the 20-ounce can of pineapple. But for the cake mix, it calls for 3 large eggs. You want to add an additional egg, and then you're also going to need 7 tablespoons of melted butter. So that's just for your cake mix. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our butter and our brown sugar, and we're going to put it in this pan, and we're going to melt all of this. Now, if you have a stove where it's safe to put a cast iron skillet, you can do this portion in the cast iron skillet, because that's what the directions actually say. Our stovetop, you cannot have a cast iron skillet, so I'm going to do it in this pot at first. But now I'm going to go ahead and make the cake mix according to the directions, which is basically we're going to add all these ingredients to our mixer, and we're going to stir. So you're going to have your cake mix, your butter, your vanilla, your pineapple juice, and your eggs, and we're going to mix those together. So we're going to take our butter brown sugar concoction, and we're going to pour it into this pan. It didn't say anything about greasing the pan. So now I'm going to put my my pineapple rings, and it doesn't tell you how many.
Fill the bottom. And
it says if you, that maraschino cherries are for tacky people.
That's what it says.
That's what the book says, yeah. So if you want to be tacky, you can put a maraschino cherry in the middle of each one of these pineapple rings. I do not want to be tacky, so I am not going to do that. Wonder if I could get one more there, or if I should just... I'd like to be able to get one more in there. I don't know. I don't want to mess it up though either.
That's fine.
Okay, so let me just show you. There's only 2 rings left in there, so go ahead and buy the whole 20-ounce can. Okay, now you're going to take your cake mix and pour it right on top. I'm going to bake this. I have my oven set to 350. I'm going to bake it at 350. I'm going to check it at 25 minutes and go from there. But I will let you know when it comes out the total time that it took. So I'm very, very grateful that we have this mat. This is why we have the mat, so that we can clean it off, because this has overflowed, but it has been 25 minutes. So I'm going to take it out and check it. You will never believe how long this is baked. This baked for 40 minutes. So the last time I checked in was at 25 minutes. I kept going in 3-minute increments because I didn't want it to burn, but it was like literally jiggly. So I could take this and shake it and it would be like, you could tell it was liquid. I did end up having to get a spatula and scraping out the cake that fell onto that thing we have in the oven because it was starting to burn and like it would have started smoking. So I did have to get that out with a spatula. But this was in for 40 minutes. You're supposed to turn it over onto a cake plate, a pretty plate, but I'm not going to do that until it is cooled for a little bit because it's really, really hot. So I'm just going to let it sit here for a while and then we'll come back and we'll turn it out and hopefully it will be beautiful. Hopefully it will be fully baked. 40 minutes is a long time. 40 minutes is more time than any of the times on the Duncan Hines box. I decided to get the box to show you. Right here, you can make right here, a 9 by 13 only is 26 to 31. The most is a bundt pan for 36 minutes. So I guess keeping that in mind, 40 minutes isn't that far off, but 40 minutes is a lot longer than any of these other times. So just know that. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully it will, I hope it's baked because you can see where I stuck a toothpick in it and it was still it was still liquid. I did not stick a toothpick in it this last time. However, when I shook it, it didn't move at all. So we're just going to keep our fingers crossed. I've let this sit for about 15 minutes, which might have been too long. I don't know how, the cookbook literally does not say how long to let it sit, but I do want to go around the edge because I don't want it to stick when I turn it over. And Kevin says that it ran over in the front because our oven is not level, is what he said. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah. Need to stick something underneath of it.
Okay, so should I go around that too? Should I just keep going?
Go for it.
Okay, so cross your fingers that this works.
With the other one or?
Yeah. Because this should still be pretty hot. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just gonna grab it. I'm really gonna just be holding on to the plate, but this will help to not slip anyway. So I'm just gonna flip it like this. And hope that it comes out. Ah! Hey! Look at all that caramel. Now what I will do, because I want that caramel, I will, and let me just tell you, it's stuck, so they did not tell you to grease the pan. I would absolutely grease the pan. This is why they didn't, this is why I tell you, make your own notes in your recipe book. So the first thing I'll say is grease the pan. But I will take this, and I will definitely, because that's all your sugar right there, that's all your goodness. So I will definitely be putting some of that caramel around here because I want us to get that sugar flavor. Yeah, all these little divots, I'm gonna stick all those little divots back in the hole. And maybe I could put some of the extra caramel around the sides so that it doesn't look as bad. I don't know. But it smells delicious. The butter and brown sugar smells wonderful, but I don't want it to look bad. I want you to still be able to tell that it's a pineapple upside down cake. So I don't want to cover anything, but I might just put some of those the brown sugar in the places where there aren't any pineapple. So now I'm going to cut it. Now, Kevin, do you think each person gets one ring, or does each person get like half a ring?
I think you should get a whole ring.
Well, I was going to cut it like this, so you get half of that one and half of this one. Don't ask me why, because I'm artistic that way. Okay.
You're something.
There we go. Okay, now I was afraid about it being baked. It does look like it's fully baked, so that is a good thing. The book says, a food snob, Bland Shackelford Curry, calls this fake because she uses a mix to make the cake. Don't let her intimidate you about the maraschino cherries, which enhance the cake. This is Bland's recipe in her own words. I didn't use maraschino cherries because she doesn't use the maraschino cherries because she thinks they look tacky.
But most pineapple upside-down cakes do have them.
They do have them, and we have recipes on the channel that have maraschino cherries, which is fine. I think it's cool to try one without anyway. But this is how she makes hers, and so I want to taste what Bland Shackelford Curry's pineapple upside-down cake tastes like. All right. Now there's no pineapple at all in this tip part, but I'm going to eat it anyway. Doesn't need any. Oh my gosh.
All that sugar.
Oh my gosh.
I like the pieces with the pineapple in them.
Mm-hmm. It adds texture.
Yeah, and the pineapple flavor. Although the cake probably has a little bit of pineapple flavor anyway.
Yes, because of the juice, because we use that juice. This is incredible.
It's very good.
I'm glad that I wrote things down as I was going along. I do still need to write in there that it takes 40 minutes. Who would have known? I'm going to write down that I baked it in the cast iron skillet and then it takes 40 minutes, because if you bake it in something else, who knows how long. It probably won't take that long.
It's very good. The only step that I wasn't sure of, it said to put the brown sugar and the butter in a cast iron pan and then melt it.
Right.
So I was never sure of what does melt mean. You know, is it when it's all liquidy, but you still get the grainy sugar, or will it actually melt down to where it's actually a syrup? Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if it wouldn't have melted down to a sugar syrup, because this is still kind of gritty, sugary, isn't it?
It's gritty, but it's butter and brown sugar.
It's still very good.
And
but
who cares?
I'm wondering if it would have made more of a caramel and spread when you took it out, if you'd melted that.
Maybe, but I mean, this is like.
They're very good.
People are like, "You're gonna be a diabetic," and I'm thinking that's not how that works. But this would make those people think that because it's that sweet.
It's very sweet. Like make your teeth hurt sweet.
Like over the top.
I think it's the yellow cake mix too.
I think it's wonderful. If your oven doesn't lean a little bit like ours, then it would have all stayed.
Hopefully it'll stay.
It'll stay in the pan. I do have to say though, they said use a 9-inch pan. The bottom of my cast iron skillet says 10.5. So I think that's important to note, that if you have a 9-inch black iron skillet,
hopefully it's a tall one.
Yeah, it better be tall or something, or it will run off, because mine's 10.5, and mine was honestly perfect for it. So know that. Also, it says if you buy this book, because I know a lot of you have bought this book since I've recommended it, it says 3/4 box of light brown sugar. Well, Walmart did not have. If you look online, Domino does sell a pound box. That's how much is in their boxes of light brown sugar. Walmart only sells the 2-pound bags of light brown sugar. So you want to use 12 ounces is how you, if you could only get a 2-pound bag, just know, measure 12 ounces out. And then the pineapple, it said 1 small can. I made that amendment to it. It's a 20-ounce can is what you need.
Maybe that is a small can. I don't know. I don't know what they mean by small can. I don't know of any
bigger can of pineapple though. And then it just says vanilla. So if you're looking in this book, it's going to say vanilla. But for every recipe I make, almost, you usually use a tablespoon. That's just like across the board. You're going to put about a tablespoon. So to be safe, I put not a tablespoon. I'm sorry, a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. not a tablespoon, a teaspoon. Across the board, most recipes use a teaspoon of vanilla. So to be safe, that's how much I use. They don't tell you how much vanilla, but
it says some vanilla.
a teaspoon was fine. It didn't make it bad in my opinion. But just know that if you do use the skillet, it's going to take about 40 minutes. It probably would not take that much time if you, which surprises me because you would think cast iron would cook things quicker.
Maybe if they're hot already.
But it didn't with this cake.
But you got to remember, we didn't melt our butter and sugar first, so it wasn't hot.
It wasn't hot. So if you already have a cast iron skillet that's hot,
right,
because you're melting your butter and sugar,
you
cracked the code.
Mean.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I bet
mean, it probably would help.
I think
but
so.
Our cast iron skillet's very, very old, and it's not made to put on flat surface stuff, so it would end up scratching it all to pieces.
Oh yeah, we don't want to scratch it.
I think they make cast iron now to where you can use them for flat surface. If you have one of those, you can just use it on the stove.
Right.
But ours is not like that. So
right.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend using an old cast iron skillet on a flat top stove. Now, if you have a gas stove or an old electric stove, the ring stoves, they work fine. Just go ahead and cook your sugar.
Well, this is delicious. It might not have turned out perfect when I turned it out of the pan, you know, and it had all the caramel still in it. It tastes delicious, and I was able to put the caramel back on it, no problem at all.
And some of the cake stuck to the edge, but, you know, it's okay.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to write, grease the pan. That's another thing.
And maybe run a knife around the edge.
You need to grease the pan. I would totally grease your skillet. Yeah, you need to do that definitely. So grease the pan in 40 minutes, and then I'm good to go. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.